I have skied every month of the year for the past 48 months. This is Volume 2, month 13 through 24. Stay tuned to see how I did it. While month 12 finished strong with fresh snow up on St. Vrain Mountain, I then made the unwise choice of heading down to Mexico to grab some surfing. I should have stuck to 2 planks instead of 1, as I had a little accident down in Mexico.
Yo, I hit a rock. I think I'm bleeding. Keep an eye on me.
Ended up with a broken scapula and some stitches in the back of my head. With this, I had a choice to make. Give up the skiing streak or play through this. November turns, we're using a lift like a bunch of cheaters. But I have a broken shoulder blade, so don't tell my doctor. With the streak continuing into the fresh ski season, the only thing I had to do was keep going. The shoulder blade healed up pretty quickly, and I could get skiing out in the resort some more. I again went back to Copper to get some fresh turns on some leftover powder a few days after Christmas. So fortunate to be healthy again, be able to start ripping around and get some nice powder turns. I really dodged a bullet with that surfing injury. Could have been so much worse. Head wounds are nothing to joke about. So being just 2 months after that injury, being skiing, shredding around again, I was so excited and just went out and enjoyed it. Then in the new year in January, it was time for a classic 4-wheel camper ski trip. Having the camper, being able to camp slopeside is honestly one of my favorite things ever. Waking up in the morning with nowhere to go and just to get your skis on is one of the best feelings in the world. We headed over to Winter Park to get some fresh January turns. Then in February, it was time to do some route planning. We headed up to Caribou to do some backcountry skiing. Obviously, over on Caribou, no wind whatsoever, had just perfect skies, nice warm tropical breezes coming through. A great ski day with some of my good backcountry friends. So then we switched up aspects a little bit and sports, started to work on the rock skis, then hit in a snow hole, just try to find some decent turns somewhere. But the front range can be a little unforgiving sometimes. You just got to take the day that's given to you. Still finished off the day with some nice beers at the local brewery, so all will be all right. Then in February, we literally just hit the replay button with a ski day at Winter Park. Another great night in the truck camper and some cold ski turns up in the Winter Park area. Because of the temperature, we cut the day pretty short, but still got that turn in, keeping the streak alive. Then as the old country song says, there's no such thing as too much fun. Right back up to Winter Park again for another truck camper ski day. Then just to make sure we really made March count, it was over to Copper before the month's end for some surprisingly cold turns, but a very enjoyable day with some friends. Then in April, it was time for our annual hut trip. This time we went to Weston Pass Hut, not a 10th Mountain hut, but really enjoyable. It was actually a crazy time. I was at a conference all week. I flew in, my wife picked me up from the airport with the truck camper. We went right up to the pass, camped out there the night before, and then hiked into the hut. Unfortunately, the conditions were a bit rough. Avalanche danger was slightly high, plus the snow was just hard packed, but always good times in the hut and logged a great April ski. In April, we headed back up to Winter Park Mary Jane, again with the truck camper. This time we met up with some work friends to have a little ski day. I taught someone to ski for the first time. A couple of great laps on the old Galloping Goose was a good time. And I finished off April heading back up to Caribou to do some backcountry skiing. This was a quick tour in some nice spring weather. Even summited a little mountain, got a view of the divide, could check on the snowpack. Got some nice late season turns, started to feel like that summer skiing we get so excited about. Then for the first weekend in May, we did 2 weekends at the Mary Jane parking lot to close out the lift season. Mary Jane and Winter Park were still in great shape. Most of the mountain remained open. We skied all over the place. Snow was in fantastic condition. had a great time, and an even better evening enjoying one of those last days in the parking lot that we love so much. That trip to Winter Park was in the beginning of May, and then come the end of June, the clock was ticking and I had to either make or break the streak. I went to a familiar place back to Skyscraper Glacier by myself on June 30th to log that month. This would be month 20th for me. I actually went up the night before, slept in the camper, and had a very early start, 5 a.m. start, as you can tell by the sunrise. The snow conditions were pretty good. I had never been to this particular spot so earlier in the season. The entrance was a little dicey for me by myself, and so I actually hiked around, which was probably even dicier because I had to do a bunch of rock scrambling. But in the end, I actually got some beautiful smooth turns to log month 20. Mid-July 2018, month 21, we wanted to go back for some redemption of Sawtooth Mountain. This time, we were later in the season than last year, so we could drive the road. There's a pretty intense Jeep road called the Coney Flats Trail. My buddy's lifted 4Runner handled it just fine. I don't think a stock pickup truck would do particularly well, though it's probably possible. With the road being open, we were able to cut off about 4 miles of the approach that we had biked last time. This meant we had fresher legs once we hit the trail, but it also meant we were later in the season. As we approached what we were hoping to ski, we quickly saw there was approximately 0 snow on the face we were going for. Luckily on the way up, we had still seen plenty of patches of snow, so we knew we could get a turn in, but we still wanted to summit this mountain. So we actually dropped off our skis, and Clark and I went to the summit. It was truly a great alpine summit. Very windy up there, but it was awesome to be standing on top of that summit after having failed last year. However, we realized we made a terrible mistake of not bringing our skis with us. By dropping them too early, we had missed out on the best snow patch on the mountain that we just couldn't see during the approach. Still, we put our tail between our legs, hiked back down to our skis, skied the 50-yard patch that we had committed to prior, and logged month 21. The main face of Sawtooth still remains on my bucket list, and I hope to get there someday. Still need to figure out that approach. August 2018 for month 22 was truly a memorable one. We put together quite a little group of people. I think we had 6 or 7 of us on that trip, which was a whole lot for skiing in the middle of August. We hiked to Isabelle Glacier. It's a bit of a haul back there, but man is the glacier beautiful. Proper alpine glacier. A couple of my good friends, Derek and Kelly, even went a little bit further and went up a small couloir, even with their small skate skis on. Me, I skied the lower apron, had some great safety turns, and enjoyed the day. This was actually one of my favorite trips ever because the video I made about it actually won an award from Outside Magazine, and I won some gift certificates and things like that. So I was super stoked about how this video turned out and about this trip in general. A truly great summer ski day. September 2018 for month 23 proved yet again that September's the hardest month to get those turns in. We went for that easy pick of St. Mary's Glacier. My buddy Clark was nice enough to come along for the day. We enjoyed just catching up with each other and skiing some truly terrible snow. But logged the month, kept the streak alive. See ya in October. In my second year of Turns All Year, for month 24, October 2018, I had learned that the later you can go in October, the better. So we waited till the 28th of the month to head back up to St. Vrain Mountain. We'd had some fresh snow, we knew how the snow patterns drifted up there, so we took the 4Runner as far as we could go, hiked up that steep Rock Creek trail we'd been on a few times before, and found some nice soft turns. It is so motivating after a summer of crusty, crummy turns to have some nice, soft, creamy snow under your feet and know that the best of the ski season is just getting started. With this day, my 2 years of Turns All Year were complete. I'd really enjoyed this little experience so far, and so going into year 3, I decided to commit to it and keep it moving. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to stay up to date about the recaps of Turns All Year. Year 3 coming up next.